Hello and welcome to another episode of Hacking with Friends. My name is Cody Kinsey. I'm a security researcher at Varonis, and this is my friend Michael. He is one of my production gremlins. And today we're going to be learning about another operating system for hacking besides Kali Linux. So when you think about getting started with hacking, generally you think of Kali Linux. Now, is there another hacking operating system that you can think of besides Kali that's really popular?
Parrot OS.
I was more thinking of something that everybody who uses insists on telling you multiple times that they use it.
I don't know what you're leading up to.
Arch.
Oh yeah, Arch.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like everyone just expects you to be using Kali when you talk about like, oh, I'm hacking with Linux.
Right. Well, by far, Kali Linux is the simplest way to get started with hacking, but there are a lot of other operating systems out there. So can you think of any besides Arch Linux? Pentoo?
Pentoo?
Black Arch?
Yeah, Black Arch I've heard of. All the different distros are not really my scene.
Right.
If I need to use Linux, I just use Kali most of the time.
Well, I would say that Black Arch is another really popular operating system that is designed for penetration testing. A lot of people really like it. However, it is based on Arch, so it's extremely minimal. And some people that get used to the way that Debian works with Kali Linux can find some things a little counterintuitive and find themselves basically learning some stuff over again. So if you are a beginner and you've tried out Kali, and maybe some things don't quite work for you or you don't quite like it and you want to start trying out something new, then there are other options out there for you. Of course, people can always go and just go ahead and use either Debian, which is kind of the stripped down version of Kali, where it's actually the operating system from which Ubuntu, Kali, and a bunch of other different operating systems, including Parrot Security OS, all come from. So if you want to do that and just install hacking packages yourself, you're absolutely welcome to. It's very similar to Kali, but there's less things set up for you in advance.
And so for people that are maybe less familiar with Linux, just to be clear, when you're saying Debian, that's like the
flavor
Linux kernel
Yeah.
that it's based on, the seed from which it grows, and then things are just attached to it for like Kali that makes it Kali.
A confusing description.
Okay.
I would say that, yes. So there's core Linux, and then that Linux gets put through a bunch of different communities who create operating systems around it that are very user-friendly.
Okay.
Debian is an incredibly important fork of Linux that's very, very popular, and lots of operating systems are based on it, including Raspbian, for example, for the Raspberry Pi. So from this fork, there's lots of other forks that come from it, and people will add repositories and basically set it up so it's all ready to go for whatever use case you're looking for. For Ubuntu, it's supposed to be set up for just daily driver use. It's supposed to compete with other operating systems that are paid. And also, Ubuntu is probably the most common operating system that I see other hackers using, aside from Kali Linux.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that one, but that is a good option.
Yeah, so like when you start thinking about it, there's a lot of like operating systems that are actually pretty good for hacking, and Ubuntu is super user friendly. And if you're really going to get into this stuff and maybe have a separate laptop, running a different operating system than Ubuntu might be what you're looking for, especially if you don't want to, as I say, be taking an armored personnel carrier to the grocery store when you're running Kali Linux, trying to just like check your emails and do class stuff. So if you're just trying to play video games, then trying to get like a video game running on Kali Linux, like why?
Yeah.
So like it might not always be the best choice. So there is some other issues with usability that really make Kali not a good candidate, whereas Ubuntu might be a better candidate. But the trade-off is the stuff isn't set up for you. So here's my pitch for Parrot Security OS. If you like the usability of just having everything set up with Ubuntu and having a daily driver, and you want it to be slick and work well and make sense, but also you want all the security tools of Kali Linux while not also going big simple with Black Arch or something like that, where you're going to be relearning stuff. Parrot Security OS is a new environment completely preloaded with tools that has a lot of stuff that Kali doesn't have. So it'll have some security tools that I feel like are much more modern and should be more in use, that are already included. And Kali, you actually have to install them. So
really?
Yeah. So I
thought like Kali came installed with like over 400 different tools and has everything.
But a lot of those are old school tools. Some of them are outdated or haven't been updated in a long time, and they're much more finicky about like which ones they choose to include. So there's some amazing projects that just aren't included by default right now.
Interesting.
So now I'm like thinking about all these other like operating systems that you could use. But anyway,
no, you feel free to talk about them.
No, I want to stay somewhat focused because we could really go down a rabbit hole here, and I'm thinking that at some point it might make sense to do a roundup of different operating systems.
Let us know in the comments if you want to see that for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, so to avoid this, today I'm going to specifically focus on Parrot Security OS because I think that out of the various candidates, especially for beginners or people used to Kali Linux or Ubuntu, it's probably the best choice.
Yeah, I think I was first introduced to it when I was watching one of the tutorials you did on Nullbyte's channel, and it seemed like it's a really great distribution if you're into Wi-Fi hacking, which I know is where a lot of beginners start off, or like that's usually one of the first things they're interested in learning how to do.
Yes.
So this is like, it seems like something that if you're just beginning, we've discussed other options on other live streams, but it would be a really good option just to make like a bootable Parrot OS USB drive or something like that.
Yeah, and what we're going to do today is super, super lightweight. We're just going to use a Parrot Security OS ISO file, so a disk image file. We're going to spin it up as a live image, so we're not even going to bother to install it on my computer. And we're going to run it as a virtual machine, and we're going to try to do something that's kind of hard to do with Kali Linux, just out of the box. We're going to throw in a wireless network adapter, if I can find it. I think it's on the table.
It's just right in front of you.
Yeah. And we're going to try to do a little bit of Wi-Fi hacking. And we're going to just, on a Mac OS system, which is not good for Wi-Fi hacking, see if we can get up and running doing this and use some of the tools that come prepackaged in Parrot Security OS to their full effect, which will be a lot of fun if we can. So what we need to do this is basically any computer that's able to run. I recommend using VirtualBox. In this example, I'm going to be using Parallels because I tried it out earlier, and on a Mac OS system, it works a lot better than VirtualBox. But VirtualBox is free, and I still recommend it for beginners. There just might be a couple configuration settings you have to set if things aren't quite working at the first time.
I think you kind of alluded to this earlier, but it seems like Parrot OS is particularly well suited for like virtual machines and stuff because it's so lightweight. Kali seems a lot like, maybe I hesitate to say more robust, but like it's got a lot more mass to it. It needs more horsepower, whereas Parrot is a little sleeker and lighter weight. So if you maybe are running a cheaper or older laptop and you want to go the VM route, this is going to work better for you than a Kali VM.
I agree. I will say that I've run a lot of different operating systems, and this is probably, I would say Parrot Security OS is probably my second favorite. Just because it's so similar to Debian, the community support is really good. There tends to be less information out there about solving problems than...
I would think with everyone using Kali that there would be more community
tons
support
of answers.
there.
Yeah, people have run into every problem with Kali, and it's not still quite the case with Parrot. So you might have a harder time actually getting this up and running. By the way, my favorite I've ever done was Manjaro Linux, which I then weaponized with a bunch of packages, caused horrible conflicts, and basically this configuration like has a lifespan of like maybe 8 months before it starts to experience like fatal errors and like tears itself apart. But in that 6 months, it's my 6 to 8 months, it's my favorite Linux
Maybe
OS.
we'll have to do a live stream on that.
Yeah, well, Manjaro is a really cool Linux operating system. If you're a big nerd and you want to try out a new, even weirder operating system, I highly recommend Manjaro. It's a lot of fun.
And just to be clear, since both Parrot OS and Kali are Debian based, would you be able to like look up like Kali fixes and fix problems on like Parrot?
Typically, yes. Like a lot of the time, the same solutions will work.
Yeah.
Cool. So shall we go ahead and take a look at it?
Sure.
Cool. All right. So if we go to parrotlinux.org, you can see that they have one thing I like about them is their branding. Everything looks so nice.
They got that really sexy bird thing going on, like shattering glass and stuff. It looks really epic.
Well, I don't know how sexy this bird is. I think this bird is just colorful. I think the dragon is sexy, but different.
Yeah.
All right, so we also have all their little values. They jump out at you. How nice. But as soon as you go to the download section, you're presented with a little bit of a problem. So if I'm a beginner, it's not immediately clear to me like which one of these I want. And that's where we're going to help you out here. So you can see along the top, there's some things that are kind of suggestions. So if I click on security, then it gives me a curated list of the different ones I can download.
That's bizarre.
What I really do like is that you can just download it via torrent. So these downloads go super fast if you have decent internet. So
they're not too big, like 3 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes, 5 gigabytes.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have gigabit internet, that's like a matter of minutes.
Yeah, so what you'll notice here is that some of these are marked security tools included, and some of them, when we go to all, are marked no security tools.
So those are like the home ones. So those are intended to be like Ubuntu adjacent kind of.
Exactly. So this is designed to be a replacement for Ubuntu. So if you just want a super slick, like Debian-based operating system that just works really well and has good community support and is also beautiful, then Parrot's great.
Yeah.
You don't need to get the security version, but we're gonna because it's great.
I don't see it
it's better.
clearly demarked here, but are there versions for ARM, like so Raspberry Pi and Raspberry Pi type devices?
Nope, at least not broken out in a way to be really useful or
Obvious,
easily accessible. Yeah, maybe I'll look at their beta images. No, I don't see anything about Raspberry
Yeah, I'm
Pi.
just seeing all 64.
Yep. Yeah, so no, as far as I know, they are not pushing any particular version for the Raspberry Pi, which I think is
That's
very
sad.
unfortunate.
Because I think this would be a great Raspberry Pi image with its lower requirements.
I agree. But yeah, I don't see any option.
Hopefully
for
we're
Raspberry Pi
wrong
stuff.
about that, and if we are, let us know in the comments.
I just feel like if they had a version, they would be pushing it harder
yeah,
because it would
should
be
be
great.
very obvious.
Yeah. So we probably want to download the default version, which is the Parrot Security Mate ISO. So it has the security tools, and it's relatively small. We can click on the Get Torrent, and it'll open that up, download it however we want to, and we should have an actual ISO file in a matter of minutes. Yeah. So once we have it, what do you think the steps are to actually mount this and get it set up?
If I had to take a wild guess, I would say you'd need a empty thumb drive, or I guess you could use like a micro SD card or something too, potentially. But you need some drive, and then you're gonna take a program like Etcher, import that ISO, flash it to the drive you have, and plug it into the laptop, and poof, magic Parrot appears.
Very, very good. Yes. So if we want to do that, we don't need to use any virtualization software or anything like that. What we can do is we can have it on some sort of boot media, and then we can just start up a computer from that image instead.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do
Important to remember that you need to enable boot from USB in the BIOS options of that computer. That stumbled me the first time I did that.
Yes. So I'm going to go to my hacks folder, and I'm going to right mouse click on the Parrot Security ISO. I'm going to open it with Parallels. And
Parallels is a paid product, correct?
Yes, it is. Although if you wanted to open this in VirtualBox, the steps would be very similar. I just find that for Mac OS, VirtualBox is a little frustrating to use because there is a lot of different parameters to set, and there's a lot of room for, I would say, improvement to just make the whole experience a little bit better. But Parallels seems to work really, really well on Mac OS. I just really, really wish that you guys would have a free student version. But I did get this version for free, so I don't feel bad using it because I just harassed them on Twitter for a good year. All right, so I'm going to name this Parrot Security.
That's
I'm going to
very imaginative name.
Right, I'm going to click Create. And then, much faster than your idea, I have a Parrot Security instance ready to go.
Wow, that was pretty quick.
Right? That's why I like this. All right, so I'm going to do live mode because I don't, who cares? I don't want to install this on my computer.
Yeah, and to be clear, like if you did want to create a dual boot or something, that's where you would install like persistent.
Exactly.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I think it has persistent mode where it tries to like save stuff to the bootable drive or something. I don't know how all that works.
Yes, when you boot from a USB, then there is a persistent mode that's available where you can save data back to the USB drive.
Yeah.
All right.
Black screen of terror.
Yeah. All right. So we're on our Parrot desktop. So I also really like the default Parrot backgrounds.
Yeah,
I think that they're among
really
the
nice.
best. I'm just going.
Oh,
here first.
hey, there's a bunch of really cool ones.
Look at how like.
Did they hire like a graphic designer or something?
I don't know. But
look at that one with like.
This is my default. This is my main.
I can't close this tab.
Yeah. There you go. So this is my main
cool.
that I play in Parrot.
How do you
Security OS.
access those?
I right mouse click and click on change desktop background. And these
Cool.
are the default ones.
That's
That's how
really
cool this
cool.
operating system is.
Yeah, a lot. Just to show y'all, this is what the default Kali one looks like.
I think the dragon is very sexy, but I have to say that for style points, Parrot Security OS.
I was gonna say,
definitely wins.
do I have that option? Create arrange. I don't. Am I just missing something? Desktop settings.
Yeah,
maybe?
desktop settings.
Background.
Yeah, it's all just different versions of that friggin' dragon.
This one's
That one's a
okay.
bit
That one's
better.
kind of cool.
That
That's
one's a
like
bit better.
Matrixy.
Yeah. One thing that I have to say is everybody who's watched Mr.
Yeah, that's
Robot,
the only one that's
Yeah.
cool.
everyone who's watched Mr. Robot knows exactly what the Kali Linux dragon means. It means that you're up to no good. It means
Yeah.
you're pulling some shenanigans.
absolutely.
And
Like,
you should be watched because that's
it-
not a friendly operating system to run.
Yeah.
This just looks like I'm into spicy games.
Yeah, this
or
just
whatever.
looks like a normal Mac computer. If I were seen with this in a coffee shop,
Yeah,
I would
they're
get
gonna be
cops called on me.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time I was working at a co-working space, and I had a bunch of wireless network adapters plugged in, and I was running Kali Linux, and the developer bros reported me to the managers, and they came over and asked what I was doing, and then I just death glared at them because I was paying to be there.
That's
But
awful.
yeah, you can definitely have people be suspicious of you for running Kali Linux. So just having that omnipresent background, of course you can change it, but it's just cool that Parrot Security OS
Yeah.
has a bunch of default ones that have nothing to do with their brand and are just cool.
All right, and not to get
enough
too-
about default.
Not to get too
backgrounds.
sidetracked, but up at the top bar, is that showing the system performance right there?
I believe it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really easy access to CPU history, memory
Yeah.
swap history, network
I just
history.
love how
file-
that's just by default included in the bar up there, so you can easily just be like, oh, hey, I really need to close some of these tabs, I'm running out of memory and stuff, because I don't know, maybe I'm just a powered user, but I'll have 50 Chrome tabs open at once.
Yeah, it definitely is helpful to have these nice little performance tweaks that let you be aware of when exactly something is starting to use too many resources. All right, so looking through this, you can see there's lots of different stuff that's pre-installed.
This was a pathetic list of games.
Oh god, I know. So we have internet stuff, Claws Mail. We have a Bitcoin wallet pre-installed, Firefox, HexChat,
Yeah.
Onion Circuits,
I
Onion
haven't
Square,
heard of HexChat.
Tor browser.
Yeah, that's all good stuff.
So I just want to open the Tor browser and
I'm
just
gonna go
confirm.
to the dark net.
Well, I just want to confirm if I wanted to pop this open in a virtual machine, connect to Tor, and just do my
So
thing.
it seems it doesn't have it download. Maybe it's updating, or no, it's legit downloading it, right?
I think it's
So-
awfully fast to be downloading
Yeah.
it. So I'm pretty sure it's mostly. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, connect. Do it. Establish a Tor relay.
Do we have
Connect
it?
me to the Navy's network.
Yeah. Does Navy still control that, or how did I? That's another episode. We should do an episode on that.
So
How
I'm
the
gonna go
dark net
to who would hate Tor connections. What website would probably block that? US Bank.
Yeah, bank would probably hate
It's
that.
like,
right?
sorry, we hate Tor connections, and I don't want you to connect. But okay, whatever. If I
Yeah.
wanted to log into my bank account using Tor for whatever stupid reason, then I could probably do that from here. It looks like yes, it is. Yes.
Access denied.
Okay, one problem with using Tor circuits is that
Yeah.
everyone hates them, and a bank doesn't want you to try to access with Tor. So you might find some services actually block.
Does Twitter not like it?
I'm not sure. I think that Twitter's cool and would allow.
I think you have to sign in Twitter.
Yeah,
though,
freedom
right?
of speech, bro. Twitter's all about that.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna get flagged to just absolute death as soon as I try to create an account or something. But yeah, cool. Okay, so you guys can see that it's pretty simple to spin up just a Tor browser window from here, nice and easy. But then let's get into, and that's just included by default. So this is if you got the home version,
Yeah.
it would have that. We have graphics.
Just curious,
sound and
what's
video.
included in Office is could you
cares?
legit use this as a daily driver?
Just LibreOffice.
Okay.
I mean, same thing as Ubuntu.
Yeah.
So pathetic games. Oh yeah.
One whole
export.
game,
And then we
chess.
have pen testing.
Okay. This is the bread and butter.
Ooh,
here.
sorry. I just want to see programming. Do we have chirp? DB. Okay. I don't care about any of this. All right. So pen testing. So we have most used tools, which I think that this is a great list.
Spooky
Aircrack
Alien.
NG, AirGeddon, one of my favorites. Armitage is, I guess, my favorite tool that involves an anime character, I guess, if I qualify it. Burp Suite, super useful. Johnny,
Bettercap.
Bettercap, Wait, where?
No, I was asking if Bettercap was
No,
on there.
stop confusing me. No, it's here, but it's not in this list.
Gotcha.
GoBuster, Maltego, our friends at Maltego, made this short list. Wireshark also made this list, which is super cool. So this means that we're able to use all these tools just out of the box. And then we have specific breakdowns. So we have information gathering, Recon NG, Wireshark, vulnerability analysis, web application analysis, exploitation tools, maintaining access. So that's where we have evasion tools, backdoor factory, post-exploitation, hash and password dumps.
Do you know specifically,
Mimikatz.
are there some of these that are not included on Kali?
Yeah, Airgeddon isn't included on
Really?
Kali. Yeah, you
Wow.
have to install it. 802.11 wireless tools. They might have updated it at some point, but
Right.
the last time I tried it, you had to install it. Bettercap too. RTL SDR scanner.
Yeah.
Sniffing and spoofing. Mac changer. Wireless sniffers, spoofing and man-in-the-middle attacks, automotive attacks, so you can attack cars,
Okay.
reverse engineering, reporting tools. This is where they have Eyewitness, Case File, which is another Maltego product I've literally never used and barely know what it is. Metagoofle, I forget what that is. Okay, whatever. It just shows you how to use it. It's a Python program.
And this is just a slightly technical question, but I was just curious. When you add tools, can you add them to these menus so that way you can help like organize your own tools as you add to the distro?
I imagine so, but
That would be really cool.
yeah, I haven't done it myself, but
Yeah.
I imagine so. So you can see the options to start Metasploit are really easy. You just run this and it executes MFS start.
Okay.
And boom. Hopefully, I just said that
Laziest
before it
hacking
actually went.
ever.
Yeah, but this should start up Metasploit and I should be able to get started doing all sorts of nasty Metasploit stuff. Database already started. Cool. All right. Cool. Okay, yeah. So now I should be able.
You want to increase your terminal size?
Not really.
Okay.
Well, I'll try. Yeah, it's already pretty big.
No, I was just saying make it full screen, but never mind.
I don't care about that. Okay, yeah, so presumably Metasploit is up and running now, and I should be able to, if I want to, go into pen testing and then use Metasploit. So this is a really easy way to get started. I definitely recommend it for people who want to just dive into a bunch of security tools and maybe see what they do. But yeah, let's see, post-exploitation, maintaining access, exploitation tools, that should be where Metasploit is. Metasploit framework.
Cool.
Database is configured, skipping initialization, running MFSD. I just want to see if it works out of the box. I have not updated
Oh, that's
this.
cool.
Hey, we're in Metasploit. Okay, cool. Yeah, so as you can see, like this is really easy. Everything's working right out of the box. I forgot to update this and everything's still functional.
We forgot to mention that, but update and upgrade.
Yes.
Do
So
that.
if you have a box that's just like on an image that you're running off of a USB drive or something, and you just need it really quickly, that stuff will probably work. As soon as you start installing new tools, it will break because you're installing new libraries and stuff, but not updating everything. So versions will change, things will get confused as things change without being properly updated, and it'll just cause all sorts of problems. So usually you want to do apt update and apt upgrade, but we're just skipping through this because we're running this live, so we're actually not saving anything we're doing. So the next time I run this, none of those changes would be saved. Of course, we can always install this on our system and then have it in a virtual machine whenever we want, but I'm, for the purpose of this, just trying to run it as light as possible. All right, so we started up Metasploit, which was also cool and very easy. Close. What other pen testing things do we have? So I like wireless testing.
Yeah, I was going to say cracking tools.
802.11 tools, Airbase NG, AirCrack, the whole AirCrack suite, AirGeddon, Wi-Fi Honey. Oh, that one's weird. Other wireless tools. I really want to see Bettercap.
Yeah, I'm curious if it has that installed already. What's the command?
Well, first I'm going to go to terminal. Can I just... Yep, okay. Oh yeah, here it is.
It's right there. Nice.
Cool. So yeah, it just prints it. Okay, so in order to get Bettercap to work, we need to do a couple things. The first is that we need to plug in this wireless network adapter. So let me...
Yep, right there.
So this is a wireless network adapter that is basically, it's USB Type-C to USB Type-A and then just plugged into like a TP-Link wireless network adapter. There is nothing I can do. There we go. nothing I can do with this on a Mac OS system. It doesn't recognize it. It doesn't want to play with
Really?
it. I mean, it can install some third-party software that lets me do boring stuff, like connect to networks with it, but it really does not work very
And
well.
so this will work through Parallels, so you can.
We will see. All right, so
That'll
in
be
whatever,
really interesting.
yeah, in whatever system you're using, you're going to need to have a way of attaching devices. So here, I'm going to go to Devices, USB, and it looks like it's not appearing. So I'm going to wiggle this around and plug it into. This is also a very, there we go, a very, very cheap adapter.
Yeah.
All right, so I've told it that it should connect here. I'm going to confirm that it actually sees it. No,
And
it doesn't.
if you need a guide on how to find which adapters are going to be suitable for wireless hacking, which ones most importantly support monitor mode, then Cody has an article that you can find on the Nullbyte website.
Not only that, it's not on our YouTube, but on like our Twitch.
Yeah.
We have a live stream we did.
I think
just-
that's only on Periscope, actually.
Oh, Periscope, yeah.
It was one of the first live streams we ever did when we were first starting this off. So if you go to our Periscope and go a while back, one of the first like 4 live streams we ever did was testing a whole bunch of wireless adapters that we bought to see which ones supported monitor mode. And you'd be surprised because a lot of the ones that say they support Kali Linux on like Amazon or AliExpress and stuff like that
do not.
do not actually work quite as well as advertised.
Well, and by quite as well as advertised, we also mean like some of them literally
like crash the computer.
And like we had to completely reboot it, and it was not fun.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's dodgy. I
That's
don't want to
mildly
take out my screen.
sketch.
Yeah. So one thing I'll note is that macOS computers absolutely hate this USB drive I'm using. USB 2.0 LAN. Now it sees it. Okay. Now it doesn't see it. So this process can be a little tedious depending on what we're using to connect. I know that Michael keeps a stash of USB type. Okay, it can see it. And you can, this works the same in VirtualBox. Let me enlarge this. So what I'm doing is I'm just like running commands to try to discover whether or not the stupid thing is connected.
Yeah.
And what I want to see is I want to see these lights turn on, because that's how I know that it's actually successfully connected. This is a very loose network adapter that is old.
We have a variety of other adapters
We
if you need me
do.
to get one.
USB type C to A. That's what I need, because this adapter does work and I proved it. It's just this is too cheap of a other adapter. You can,
Do you have that one dongle? The big fat one?
I do not.
Otherwise, all the USB-C to A ones are currently employed.
Let's see. Will this fit? Oh my god. Oh, that's such a tight fit.
And if this
No, oh no. Keep looking. Don't think I've solved this problem. You keep trying to solve this too.
yeah,
Let's see. I really want to try to get this connected. Come on. It doesn't even see it. And I can't really. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'll just get up and go over here.
Yep. So I can see it in, oh, well I can go into configure, but I don't think this is gonna work. Some of
Here's another adapter.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, okay, so this is a Panda Wireless one that
Yeah.
should show up.
We know that it worked.
Yeah, we do. Let's try this one instead. I tried doing another Panda Wireless one and it hated it, which has actually, I think, the same chipset as this one.
And then we can worry about the antennas if it actually connects.
Yeah.
You know, I realized that
Hey, it works. Okay, cool.
it was literally just
is-
this one.
Yeah, it's a finicky USB port, and also this one's much thicker.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, I would use
This is bad.
How do you know?
Because some of them have a pin going in, and some
Oh,
of them
some
have
are
a pin sticking
male
out.
and some are female. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So against all odds, we've managed to get a wireless network adapter
Yeah,
that's Linux compatible and supports monitor mode connected to our Mac OS system, although we have it in a virtual machine running Parrot Security OS.
Yeah, I was gonna say in my attempt to organize the boatload of adapters that we have around here, I may have mixed up the antennas.
That's okay. So now I've added antennas to this monstrosity. Let's see if it's still connected. Devices. Yeah, I can still see it. Okay, cool.
Woot! Now
All
can we
right.
crack some passwords?
Okay, so here we have this. This is the wireless network adapter I have config.
That is
Should
one
show it.
heck of a name.
Yeah, so yeah, I hate it. So
Why
let's
is
go
it
ahead.
not WLAN 0 or like
Because
WLAN?
it's doing this more the way that like Ubuntu does this, rather than the
Okay.
way that Kali does it. So sudo. Wait, I am right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if it lets me do it. Airmon.
If you're new, maybe
and
trying this
these-
on another system, remember sudo may be required for certain commands. So if it's not working, getting permission denied error, try sudo.
Whoa, it vanished. I put it in monitor mode and it just went away.
What?
No, it's here. Okay, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
down.
So it just is, but now it's WLAN 0 mod.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
be-
awesome.
yeah, so it became so long that it didn't like it anymore, so it renamed it to something shorter.
I like that feature because that first name was just ridiculous.
So I'm gonna try Airmon NG WLAN 0mon. Let's see if we can sniff. Yeah, it doesn't seem to
So
be
it's
up.
detecting it.
Well, look, if I type ifconfig. Oh no, wait, I guess it is up now. That's odd. That's odd.
I was gonna say I am connected to
Beside
a
NG.
network.
Oh no, it's not that. We would see something. You know, if I run a program like bside ng, it's just going to run and attack like anything within range. So if it was able to see it, then we would see something. So my fear is that the chipset isn't completely compatible. So
Yeah, I feel like we encountered some problems like this when we were testing these, but we know this adapter works. So maybe it's some problem with the translation between Mac and Parallels.
maybe. So I'm just going to unplug this and just plug it into a different port.
So if you're doing a live boot USB, this would absolutely work. There would be no problem here.
Right. So to clarify, what's happening is I'm fighting with the virtual machine to get it to recognize like a device that's actually plugged into the Mac OS system.
Yeah.
So right now it's like doesn't even recognize it at all on this port. I'll plug it back into this port. And this is mostly caused by the fact that Michael doesn't know where another USB Type-C to A adapter is. And if
Well,
we had one,
they're
this would
currently
work.
being employed to connect the
Beautiful.
microphone. So
Don't need it. All right, so it's back. I think it has the same name, so I'm just going to try to put it into monitor mode again. And it's down. See? I don't see it.
No, so ifconfig is just like listing the network adapters in place, but isn't there like another command like IPA or something like
Yep.
that?
So there's 3 commands you can run to find all the different network adapters that are connected to your computer. IPA will show a list, ifconfig will show a list, and then iwconfig will show a list. And if it doesn't show if it does show up in IPA, but it doesn't show up in ifconfig, it's probably down. And what I just ran was ifconfig WLAN 0 up, WLAN 0 mon up, and that basically took that interface that was for some reason automatically put down and put it up instead. So I think we were running an interface that was like down, maybe, but let's see.
Hopefully it was that simple.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
You know, sometimes it is really stupid simple problems like that.
All right, so we're gonna do arrow dump ng WLAN 0 mon, and let's see if we can actually find something. Oh, I fixed it. Oh my gosh,
perfect.
that's so annoying. Cool. All right, so that was it. Basically, like by default, for some reason, it put the wireless interface down. Super dumb. We'll press Control C. But we were able to find a bunch of different networks. We were able to find a bunch of different wireless devices. So if I wanted to do
I was gonna say you have a
B-side
test
NG
network.
WLAN. Oh, do I? Where's my phone? No, I don't have my phone. Otherwise, I would create a fake network.
Yeah, I can make one on my phone.
Yeah, let's do it. Go ahead and make a fake network on your phone. make it have a relatively simple password. Like let's do like password 123 or something like that.
Okay.
And we'll try to use this operating system to just crack Michael's Wi-Fi password just real quick. And while he's doing that, I'm also going to go ahead and show you guys another cool thing with Parrot Security OS, and that's that it comes with passwords to crack your own stuff. So you can go ahead and get started really quickly, by just, let's see, finding the right path. Okay, so it's users.
Okay, I think you should be able to find my network. And let's see if you can guess the password.
Well, you need to connect to it with that. So
Oh,
now that you've
yeah.
created your network, you also have to connect to it, which gives me more time to find this file system. So what I'm trying to do is not root. User. Share.
Okay, I believe the Kali machine is now connected.
Wordless. Okay, so that was a little convoluted, but look at this. rocku.txt is actually available already right
Yeah.
here. That is cool.
And
so
for
I can,
people that may not, so that comes default installed on Parrot. is
Exactly.
That's great because
Isn't that cool?
we get so many people that ask us, "Oh, where can I find this wordless?"
Literally right here.
And for those if you don't use Parrot OS, then just Google password list GitHub, and it's like the first thing that comes up is a massive database of a whole bunch of different password lists.
Okay, so I'm going to CD to my desktop, Control L, and then you said, so have you now connected to the network?
Indeed, I have.
All right, so let's find Michael's network and let's crack the password. So we're going to do airmon ng. Oh, no, wait. No, we already did that. So aerodump ng. WLAN 0 mon. And now we're scanning on everything. I'm going to expand this so we can see better. And then I can see, Michael's elite Wi-Fi. How great. So we're going to rerun the last command, but we've observed that he's operating on channel 8. So we're going to do -C8, and now we should be listening. I'm also going to do -W Michael Shake. And that's going to be whatever. That's going to be what I name. No, I hate that name. Crack. There we go. So it's basically going to save the result of this scanning session to a file called crack. And we're looking for a .cap file so that we can actually try to crack his password. So let's go ahead and do this. It's listening, and
Should I disconnect and reconnect?
well, I wasn't planning on doing this violently, Michael, but let's do this violently. So now instead I'm upgrading
Are you
my
gonna
tooling.
de-off me?
Yes, I am. Do I have permission to de-off you, Michael? You have to say yes. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
I'm your boss.
Yes.
All right, so here we go.
You have permission to
BESSIDE
hack this one
NG.
network this one time for a specific period of time, limited to the next 30
That's
seconds.
very smart. So we're gonna do B-side NG. We're gonna do it on WLAN 0 mon, and we're gonna do C channel 8. So now we are attacking Michael's network, and we got the key. Done.
What?
Right.
That was ridiculously quick.
Yes, I'm doing this.
Damn.
All right, so now let's, if I type ls, I can see that there's a new file called wpa.cap. So let's do aircrack ng -w rocku.txt.
Oh wait,
and then
we're
we'll
gonna
do
place bets before you actually.
wpa.cap, do this, and I've got your password. Sorry, Michael.
I was gonna say less than a second.
Oh, I know, yeah. All right, so in about a minute, we have used Parrot Security OS to connect to this wireless network adapter and crack Michael's super easy to guess Wi-Fi password.
Yeah.
So now, what I could do is airmon ng stop WLAN 0 mon. So that should put your card, this card, back in regular mode, I guess.
Why would you want to do that?
Well, for reasons. For one, I'm gonna, yeah, so now I'm gonna go ahead and connect to you. I know your password now. So I'm going to connect.
This is why I put qualifiers.
Yeah. So now I'm connecting Parrot Security OS to this network, and I can run Bettercap.
And this is how you get hacked, folks.
Okay, cool. So go to a website. Just try not to hit this, because it will destroy everything. You need Firefox, yeah.
Let's see. What kind of website do we want to go to?
I don't know. I don't care. Preferably websites that. So are you still connected through your phone? Yes, you are.
Yeah.
And am I
It'll be kind of slow, I think, because it's going to be using my LTE service in a basement where I get bad service.
Try going to just because I want to test it out and
Cat
see.
Fancy.
Hold on. I want to see what's running and what's not. So we're doing netprobe, netrecon, netsniff. So we're running Bettercap right now, if you didn't know. And we're trying to, try going to Cat Fancy.
I went to the Wikipedia
Oh, wait,
page for
are
Cat
you?
Fancy.
You don't happen to be using a VPN of any sort, are you?
I'm just running whatever's default. I don't know.
That's all right. Okay. So, I'm running Bettercap on the wrong interface. Yes, kill this session. I don't care. Yeah. Wait. Unless this isn't Dell 3, right? No, I'm Dell. My MacBook Pro is Dell.
Yeah.
So, Bettercap help. So if I want to select the interface, then auto start string, said memory no colors. What? Oh my God! Do you remember how long that thing is?
Oh,
the name of the interface?
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
It's like those password generators. It's like, thank you, but for the love of God, could you make it easier to say or remember?
Net.sniff on net.recon. Oh. Net.probe on arp.spoof on. So that's just a big recipe for bad stuff on a network. So continue to try to do stuff. I'm curious to see if on your phone.
Okay, cat. Oh, do you want me to do stuff on my phone?
Yeah,
too?
we'll try to do stuff on this too. Go to just like some random middle school website. I'm so sorry that I keep picking on middle schools. I just think it's so funny that they don't use security because they have no reason to.
Do you have a particular one to target?
The ones that result with an in URL :HTTP search. But I'm just curious. I mean, of course, also this is routed.
I think this one's actually an HTTPS.
Yeah, it probably will be. Well, okay, under normal circumstances, then we're able to observe devices. I think also, in order to properly sniff, I need to be there for the beginning of the session, possibly. So let me try connecting and see. By the way, how much time do we have?
We're 43 minutes in.
Okay, so we need to start wrapping up pretty soon. And at this point, we're just proving that you can do random security stuff on Parrot Security OS. Whoa! Okay, yes. All right, so it turns out that, yes, I need to have the session key. So anything you were doing connected to this network before I ran Bettercap, I wouldn't be able to see. I'd have to kick you off for a second first. But easier
Okay.
overcome. So I'm going to open an app and see what happens. Wow, there's a lot of just Apple stuff on this. I always like to see if I can like identify like what app is open.
Yeah. And that even gets into like the earlier live stream we did on API hacking. Because like this is a good tool if you're running an app that isn't using HTTPS or SSL in any way, then just intercept the requests that are being sent over the network this way.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff you can do. I think that this is still acting a little funky. Well, it might just be picking up this, but I think that it might still be acting a little bit funky when it comes to selecting the right interface.
Mm-hmm. Does the interface need to be in monitor mode when you do this? Is that perhaps a problem?
Perhaps,
But
but
no, wait, no, you're connected to this network.
yeah. I just like am persistently interested in getting this to work. Are you bonded to this network? So net.show. Hey, wait, yeah, we totally are. Okay, sorry to do this like 3 times, but net.recon on, net.probe on, net.
Hey, stuff seems to be happening.
Show. Okay, I'm detecting stuff. Yeah, I'm detecting other stuff connected to the network.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do net.sniff. Oops, net.sniff on. arp.spoof on. Net.show. Yeah, so, okay, so again, we're pretty much just doing random security stuff right now, just to show that we can do security stuff. But we're starting to intercept requests. We can see other devices that are connecting or disconnecting, and that is really helpful. If we are wanting to identify what is on a network, I can see that Android.local is now being requested, meaning I have connected with my Android phone, which is pretty funny. And if I open up apps that don't use HTTPS, then I can actually see the contents of this. So this is a good way to start identifying what's flowing through your phone, for example, if you wanted to. You can see basically which requests are going through and what is requesting what. And it can be a really disturbing process if you're not sure why these particular requests are going to Facebook, example, when you're not using anything Facebook related.
And
So
pixel tracking.
So net.show. So here we can see that we were able to discover my phone that was on the network. We were able to get its IP address, its MAC address, and then monitor its traffic, basically. And we were doing all this through the wireless network adapter, which, again, is super hard and annoying to set up through VirtualBox sometimes or through other virtual systems. But Parrot Security OS and Parallels is doing a great job today doing that.
Yeah.
So we have this wireless network adapter that is now easy to use. We're doing it in live mode off of a virtual machine. And, you know, we can do other stuff too, like let's run our airmon-ng command again. The one that's long that I don't want to type again.
Yeah.
And then I can, oops, wait, it doesn't exist. Did I bump it? No, it's here.
I think it was saying that other processes are running using that.
Hell no, it said it didn't exist. Copy and paste. Yeah, it's here. All right, so if I wanted to do just Wireshark, let's say I want to do wireless analysis. This is also the worst thing that my MacBook hates. It does not like using Wireshark at all for whatever reason when it is doing a virtual machine.
So I can turn the network off.
The device is not up. Yeah, you can take it. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So it says that the device is not up. Let's open a tab, ifconfig. We can see, yes, that's true. So ifconfig WLAN 0 mon up. Operation not committed. Sudo exclamation point. Don't ever ask me again. Now ifconfig.
I am root.
Yeah, don't test my power. All right, back in, oops, no, that's too far. Back in Wireshark, let's see if we can open this now. Hey, look at that, we can. So now we can start inspecting packets, and if we want to direct things in to a different channel, we can do arrow dump ng WLAN 0 mon c, what channel? 11 maybe? Sure. How about 1? Channel 1. Sudo. So it doesn't have you as root by default, but now if I go over here, well, not that far, if I go over here back to Wireshark, I have changed channels, and with that command, I've now set the channel that I'm listing in on Wireshark. I can see all this great, interesting stuff.
And you're seeing that without actually being connected to that network? Or?
Right, so I'm on the outside of the network looking in, just trying to identify what's going on.
Yeah.
So I can start looking at conversations, I can go through all my great WLAN traffic information and start seeing like who's connected to what percentage of what is happening. It's very, very helpful and useful and easy to get into wireless analysis using Parrot Security OS and just a wireless network adapter, provided you can plug it into the host computer. So if you're running a computer like Mac OS, like I am, that's not particularly great for working with an external wireless network adapter, let's say I want to make this directional and pop a directional antenna on this, and it's not going to work if I plug it in Mac OS. Well, this gives me easy control over my wireless network adapter. Everything we've tried has worked today.
Yeah.
So I would say like Parrot Security OS seems to be very, very well updated. It seems to be really easy to dive into and just try out the tools, because by and large, they all just work. You know, even for something sketchy, like connecting a wireless network adapter and working with it in a virtual machine, which I recommend beginners typically don't do, this was able to just get right through it without too many problems.
Yeah, we had a little hiccup with the wireless adapter there, but that's like the stupid simple problems that you're always going to run into.
Well, I attribute that to how cheap and old this USB Type-C to USB Type-A adapter is. I think that if you had a better adapter, or if you're just plugging into USB Type-A, you wouldn't have those problems. So, you know, my impression is that this has been pretty easy to set up a wireless hacking, just get a wireless hacking setup up and running on a computer that does not support Wi-Fi hacking really out of the box at all. The big barrier here is like, in order to meaningfully use this wireless network adapter on this computer, there either has to be another operating system dual booted to, which is not fun, or I can run a virtual one and hope that everything works smoothly. And in our test today, it looks like everything worked mostly smoothly.
So this would be the process you would recommend, or what would you recommend a noob go with? The live boot, the dual boot, or the VM?
That's a good question. I would recommend, if you have the space and you're running Windows or something, then go ahead and do dual boot. Do that first. I think it's a good way to get your feet wet, and you'll find that there's a lot of things that will just work really solidly because it's just installed properly on the operating system and will not give you any problems at all. And that is a really, really good thing and a positive experience. The next best thing is if you're working on something like a Mac OS system, or if you just want to get started with this and you don't have the space, then I would recommend definitely checking out a virtual machine and running it that way. You do get the benefit of having it work on your existing system. You don't need too many resources, and it only takes up the amount of resources that it needs. But the downside is you'll find that some things, when virtualized, just don't work the same as when they're bare metal.
Right.
So you're going to run into problems with wireless network adapters sometimes, and you'll run into other issues sometimes as well. I find on my big expensive Mac OS computer that it absolutely hates doing Wi-Fi stuff on Kali Linux in a virtual machine, to the point that the fan kicks on and like everything slows down so badly that I basically can't
So
use
it starts thermal throttling and
it just gets really crazy. There's obviously some sort of problem with it. So you will run into issues like that using virtual machines for Wi-Fi hacking stuff, but I'm pretty encouraged just by going through this with you today and trying out this tool. Like, I think that in general, I can drop this wireless network adapter in, run this operating system, and just fire up any tool inside of it, including Wireshark, and just start using it as though it was in any Linux operating system, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that seems really cool. And I mean, we only scratched the surface on the tools that are available in it, and just showing you the kinds of things you can do with it. But if you're looking at like installing a Linux distribution, this definitely, if you're wanting to focus on like Wi-Fi hacking, seems like a really, really good option.
Well, I would say across the board, as a daily driver, that's better than Kali Linux for just doing normal stuff. That's my big pitch for this. If you want Kali Linux basically, but like much more friendly, and you don't want to go all the way over to Ubuntu, and you still want to be a cool guy with a security distribution, this is by far the easiest daily driver I have found, aside from Manjaro, that works really well, isn't too far in the weeds, and you don't have to constantly keep telling people that you run Arch.
And on coming from another perspective, I think if you are using Ubuntu and maybe you want to get into security, this might be a good stepping stone. Instead of jumping all the way to something like
I would say if you want to replace Ubuntu with a more security-focused distro, you would barely notice the difference with this. I think that all the functionality of Ubuntu would be there, plus some, and you'd also get access to all those great security tools. So by and large, I really like Parrot Security OS. I think it's slick. It has lots of great tools. It supports projects I care about and that I like. And then in our test today, it's worked really well as a virtualized system, just on an operating system that does not support hacking traditionally very well.
Awesome.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, per always, we have to thank Varonis for making this a thing. If you guys want to see some great examples of how hackers are stopped even after they get into a system, Varonis uses some really excellent machine learning to find hackers when they're doing bad stuff in a system, and you can see demos of this in the Attack Labs, which you can find on their website. You can also check out their PowerShell and Active Directory security courses, which are really, really great if you are in charge of those things, because it teaches you scripting with PowerShell to be able to better control Active Directory systems.
If you want a job even in that field, like you're looking at becoming a sysadmin or something like that, I would highly recommend that class. You know, it gets you a lot of knowledge real fast, and you can quickly learn like, hey, this is maybe not for me, or this, I love this, I could definitely do this for a career kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's a lot of great resources out there. This is just one of the great things that Varonis does as a thank you to the community. So if you're interested in checking out other streams we've done, you can also go to youtube.com/securityforward. That's securityfwd. And you can find this stream and all the other streams we've done, as well as some other great videos we've produced, all on the YouTube channel. All right, I think that's it.
Yeah.
So we will see you guys next time. Thank you. Leave any ideas in the comments. You can always follow me on Twitter at Cody Kinsey. Michael?
_Hoyd, HOID.
Yep. So give us any ideas for upcoming shows on Twitter, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.